Hello everyone, oh my goodness. Okay, it's a great day today and Bleach just made this morning so much better. Bleach chapter 683, I did not see such hypeness coming. I knew it was going to be lit, but not as much as this freaking Aizen. Aizen's just like... I'm satisfied, man. With what Aizen done in this chapter, I honestly can't contain the hype right now. The fact that he uses Kyoka Suigetsu and just seeing him in all his glory coming out in this chapter was beautiful. This is what I've been waiting to see. This is what I've been wanting to see. Honestly, Kubo, man, Kubo's just hilarious because the thing is, like, Kubo he's such a sick mangaka, and when you see stuff like this, such greatness, such goatness, like, you're just realizing, man, Kubo's just chilling and he's hiding this. He's like sitting on all of this hype. So, this chapter of Bleach, man, I was totally not ready for this. I was not ready for that greatness. It was so damn awesome, and just even looking back on it right now, it was just amazing, the whole setup of what Kubo actually done in this chapter. Now, a lot of people may not have realised the extent of what Aizen was actually doing in this chapter. Pretty much, Aizen just used Kyoka Suigetsu all over Yhwach. So, everything that we see in this chapter, like Renji's Bankai being broken, Ichigo's sword being broken, none of that happened. That was all in an illusion, and that was what got me so hyped, because the thing is, like, everything, I was loving this chapter, and when Yhwach was just like, I would like fall into pieces, and all of that kind of stuff, and he was just like, you'll now be, turned into like dust with Soul Society for all of eternity. Like the artwork, you see everything drooping down. I was just like, man, that is so hype. And then you just see freaking eyes, and you're just like, oh, so I see, interesting, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, oh man, this is what I love about Bleach. It gave me all those feelings of nostalgia from seeing such hype that was Aizen. When I was reading this chapter, it really gave me the vibes of Fate Karakura Town, when all that captains, they were fighting Aizen, thinking they've beaten him, and Ichigo was just shouting at him. He was just like, what have you done? Because they didn't notice that Aizen was trolling them. And Aizen trolled Yhwach this chapter, and that's what was really important about this chapter. You gotta understand, Yhwach's got a weakness, and we found out what his weakness was in this chapter. One is that he is not immune to Kyoka Suigetsu, meaning that he's not immune, like his almighty ability, it can be clouded, it can be false at times, because with Aizen being able to control the senses, that means that the Almighty kind of relies on like his eyes or like his sensory input. So that does give us a weakness. And what I like about it is, with typical Bleach fashion, a lot of people always bash this because always just like, oh, they always explain their powers and all that kind of stuff. And well, we didn't get any explanation on the powers this chapter. We didn't get really explanation on, you know, oh, Aizen just like, I've been using my Kyoka Suigetsu all this time. We didn't get any of that. And that's what I really liked about it, because it does show you what Kubo can actually do when, you know, he turns it on, when he turns on the fire. So it's just like, this was beautiful, man. It was amazing. What I really liked about it was the artwork looks on like a whole nother level. Like, Kubo's artwork is amazing in general, but this chapter, it just solidified it. When you're seeing Renji going into Bankai, you're seeing Ichigo's sword coming and you see it crack, you see all the darkness shrouding off Yhwach, like, it was just amazing. And I was just in awe, because I was just imagining when this gets animated. Imagine when it gets animated, it'll look so awesome. So I cannot wait for that. Now, enough talk about just all my general hype of this chapter. Let's actually dive in. Now, a few things to note is the fact that Aizen, he chanted. He didn't even use incantation. He just released a harder level 99 Kido. Now, I may be wrong, but isn't there only 100? I may be incorrect on that. But the fact that Aizen, he doesn't have to even use the chant, he doesn't even use incantation. It was just 99. I think it was called Goryu, Suku, something like that. But in the English translation, it was the five swirling dragons or something like that, and you just look beast, and you see the dragons come out, and you see in comparison how massive these dragons are compared to Aizen, and you watch, like, they look like flies compared to these dragons from the Kido. So I just really like that. Also, I want to talk a bit more in depth of what Aizen actually done in this chapter, and that's what he done from the start of the chapter. So we see, you know, like the Soul Society just being demolished by Yhwach's power. We see Sokyo Hill, flashback, you know, throwback to Cell Society arc, all of that greatness. So we see Tokyo Hill kind of like crumbling a little bit, and you see Renji coming up, Bankai, Sohu, Subimori. I really do love Renji's character design, especially his Bankai. It just looks so amazing with the massive monkey kind of fist that just looks beautiful. So we see Renji jumping up and he's like, Bankai, Sohu, Subimori. And it just gets decimated. Like, it weren't just the sword breaking, it weren't just like the monkey fist. His actual arm from like here just gets cut, and I'm just like, that is phenomenal. Like, the artwork, the amount of arms. I don't know what's worse, honestly. Kubo's fascination with arms recently. I know that he's always had a fascination with arms. I know everyone likes to give that joke about Kubo's arm fetish and all that kind of banter. But recently it's been arms and Bankais getting broken. It's always been the swords getting smashed, the Bankais getting smashed. I'm sorry, the swords getting smashed and the arms getting cut off. So I thought that was pretty funny to know. So yeah, Renji's Bankai gets broken. And then obviously Yhwach's just trolling as usual. Yhwach just throws insults like in each and every direction at everyone except for Aizen. I realised that in this chapter. Even with all the interactions that we've seen between Aizen and Yhwach, they've got respect for each other. Like the way that Yhwach talks to Ichigo or talks to Renji or any other Soul Reaper or Quincy, he doesn't talk the same way to Aizen, because Yhwach doesn't look down on Aizen. He sees Aizen as an equal, as someone as equal in strength, you could say. Because remember at the start of the arc, Yhwach did want Aizen to be a part of his special war potential, be part of his, like, I don't know if it was just his shit stuff or someone on his side. So you kind of, it just, everything comes back full circle when we see in this chapter. The way that even Yhwach was talking to Aizen in this chapter, he weren't even, like, being disrespectful. It was just like, I can't believe you're siding with these, all that kind of stuff. So, yes, Renji's getting decimated. Now, we need to see. Renji's Bankai, that wasn't Renji. Renji was not in this chapter. That was Aizen. And you can actually see what Aizen done in this chapter, because you see Renji's arm getting cut off, and Sohu Subimori's like breaking apart. Then you see Ichigo coming in with a broken arm, and then you see Sohu Subimori breaking apart from Ichigo. So this is what Aizen done in this chapter. At the start of the chapter, Aizen used Kyoka Suigetsu to transform, create an illusion that he's Renji. Afterwards, then he done Aizen. Yes, then he done Aizen, and then it seemed that Aizen Kyoka Suigetsu's sword was broken. So in effect, that was all an illusion. Aizen's sword wasn't even there. We need to understand the Sanpato fused with him. So if you kept your eye for that, you could have realized that. I don't think everyone's noticed that. But when Yhwach was just like, oh, your Kyoka Suigetsu has been broken, it weren't. It was an illusion, because the Sanpato fused with Aizen right at the end of the Deicide arc. So Aizen, turns to his normal self, put an illusion on, then he gets hit back away. Then he turns to Ichigo, and Ichigo, this is when some people may have noticed, because you think, hang on, when did Ichigo's arm get cut off? And then why is there a part of Sohu Subimori on Ichigo? So when Ichigo comes in, and then basically Yhwach just puts a hole through him, that wasn't Ichigo again, that was still Aizen. And then after that, then Aizen, you see him himself, and Aizen just like, interesting. So you believe that this is Ichigo Kurosaki or something like that. So all that time, Aizen was Renji, Aizen was Aizen, like himself, he made another copy of himself, you could say, then Aizen was Ichigo. So the only people that we do see in this chapter is Aizen, then right at the start, right at the end, when Ichigo comes in with the Getsuga Tensho, that's the real Ichigo. So I really liked how Kubo done that. The whole setup of this chapter, the whole execution of the chapter was beautiful. So yeah, you could have kind of noticed it during just like with the arms being cut off and like the hole through that and everything. So I thought that was pretty cool to notice. Also with sorry if you can hear the vacuum in the background. That's just one of my family members just vacuuming. But what was I going to say? With the arms, I think you could have noticed that Aizen or something was amiss. Even when I was reading this whole chapter, I knew something was off. I was just thinking to myself, hang on, something seems a little bit odd. Maybe that was Kubo, just hinting at it from page 1. So if he was, that was pretty sick. You had to keep an eye out to notice those little hints. It just looked very different, like just a little tiny bit different. But yeah, so at the end of this chapter, Ichigo comes in. So basically Renji was not in this chapter. He wasn't doing anything in this chapter. So Ichigo comes in, cuts through Yhwach, and then does Getsuga Tensho in Bankai, and Yhwach's head just goes flying off. So I honestly do not know what's going to happen next chapter. I don't think this was real. Like, Yhwach did get attacked. I don't think Yhwach playing any tricks right now. I do think he actually did get damaged, but I don't think Yhwach down for the count. So, judging how Bleach is ending soon and who knows how many chapters, I'm guessing this is what we'll see next chapter. Maybe Yhwach will release Yamamoto's Bankai, and then, you know, Ichigo, Renji, and Aizen, they'll fight off Yamamoto's Bankai. But once they fought off that, maybe Yamamoto will pull up, not Yamamoto, sorry, Yhwach will pull off something from his sleeve, pull out something from his sleeve again, another trick up his sleeve, and then I think Yhwach will go full standing, and then Aizen will probably go Bankai in the next couple of chapters, and Aizen Bankai, Ichigo Bankai, probably Renji. I do feel like Urahara may be coming in, because I just feel like the way he was finished with Asuka, I just don't feel like it, I feel like he's still got something else to do, so who knows. I do feel like someone else is going to come in. Either it's going to be Urahara, Ukitake, or someone else. Oh, of course, Uri will be coming in, so when Yhwach does his full standing, Aizen will go Bankai, Uri will come in with the arrow, maybe Urahara may come in and do something as well. In the next couple of chapters, that's how I see it going down. That's how I see Yhwach fully being, you know, killed, like defeated. So by the end of this chapter, I do feel like Yhwach's being severely weakened. First of all, by his senses, because that's what the Almighty relies on, sensory input, so you can look over everything. So next chapter is going to be lit. Kubo, you out of the park this chapter was. You surpassed all our expectations, all our thoughts, all our predictions of what this chapter was going to be, and it was straight hype. So tell me what you thought in the comments below. If you liked anything that I had to say, drop a like, that'd be greatly appreciated. What do you think is going to happen next chapter? Do you think Yhwach's down for the count? What were your thoughts on what Aizen was doing throughout this whole chapter? This is Shinigami-san. I'll see you next week. Subscribe for weekly reviews of Bleach, and let's continue the discussion down below. Shinigami-san, goodbye.